tere.
So it's anonym täna.
Hola. What's up?
Hello.
What's taking the first steps to be anonymous? Not using his name anymore.
Glasses on.
All right. So, Leonard, you got the stuff to work now on your machine or what?
Yeah, I mean, I managed to spit out the WASM package, and I managed to install it on the React project I started, and I managed to call random. I managed to initiate the wallet, and yeah, so it seems to be working.
Great. And the instructions, they were all still correct, right? In the README, I mean, or did you run into anything that was not up to date anymore? Because I haven't really touched on that for a while.
I can't tell you. I did so much I had to do so much random stuff just because. So I'm not sure what was because of the instructions, what was because of the peculiarities of my setup.
All right.
Yeah. From my side, I think I'm ready to start putting it all together. I have to think through how to build the views for. That's not in Figma. The views for actually creating a wallet and all that. Need to think that through.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Diego didn't reply anymore. I wanted to send you a screenshot just from this exact view, the create wallet view, but it's super simple. There was really just an hola.
Oh yes.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't or something went wrong with the recording last time. I forgot to enable it again in the room, but yeah, this time it should work again. So I will just send you the stuff again later, if that's okay. Cool. Yeah, regarding the view, the create wallet view is super simple. There was really just a text field, where you can either set your own seed phrase, or there was a button to generate a bunch of random words, and that was it. Yeah. And then, right, as you might have seen, when you create a wallet, right, it expects the seed string. It's really just a string of words, and then that's it, right? And then you really have just this one wallet object where you can then call all these methods that the UI needs. For instance, I don't know, fetch token balances or stuff like that. And
yeah, I sort of figured it out. I have some business logic missing, in terms of what do we store? It's gonna be a site, right? And this is an actual wallet. There is no wallet on top of this wallet, meaning where would the account actually get stored? Would the user re-enter the keys every time they come on? Would we store it somewhere in the browser? Doesn't seem safe. I'm missing that part.
That's a great question. So there's this wallet object, and the wallet object holds all the data. It lives for the entire time that the React app lives, right? And I think there's no function for that yet, but all the data is held within this wallet object, and then we will have just a method how we can export the stuff into a JSON string or so. For now, we do it all not unencoded, but later we can also encrypt all that. That's really just a simple exercise. Ich kann jetzt raus.
Okay, so the UX would be basically every visit.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The UX would be that every visit you would re-import the JSON from your.
Okay,
machine.
So yeah. Right. So for now, we have to do it that way. Either you import your key again, or actually the JSON string, that is your wallet state, because also when you sync your wallet, all the wallet state, basically, always syncs with the smart contract state, and all this data is of course also included there. So if you would just import your key all the time, you would have to resync, right? So yes, you always would have to reload the wallet. Maybe you can come up with an idea. I mean, this is the disadvantage, right? If we do everything in JavaScript. My idea behind that was that people don't have to trust us with their EOS private keys, because they can just connect with their Anchor wallet and then use the wallet. As soon as they create a zeos private key and start to do things, of course, they would have to always store this wallet when they are, when they want to close the browser tab or whatever, right? And as you said, they would have to re-import it once they open it again. At some point we can write our own binary, native wallets as well. There's so much that we can build on top of that. The idea was that we have a platform independent wallet solution for now to demonstrate the protocol. And as I said, that people don't have to trust us with their precious EOS keys, that, they can just use Anchor to move assets back and forth. That was the idea. And hence all this hassle that I also did to get the WebAssembly stuff working in the browser with multi-core support and all that stuff. Right. In general, I like the idea.
Yeah, it didn't take.
No, go ahead. And I would just want to say, in general, I like the idea to have this all browser based, because of the platform independence. As soon as we start to build wallets based on Rust or C++, that compile native to a certain architecture, we have to support Linux, Windows, Apple, and all this stuff, mobile maybe, right? And this is like so much work, and hence the idea to start with the simple JavaScript wallet first.
Yeah, the initiation of the wallet, by the way, did take a while still, but it wasn't bad.
You mean when you create the wallet? Yeah. What again? Was it that took so long? But yeah, I tried to remember what it was.
It wasn't too bad. Anyways, yeah, in terms of storing stuff, maybe there's a hacky way of storing something encrypted in just local storage. Just literally chuck it in the browser and decrypt it with a simpler key that the user can, something like a password. I'm not expert on like cryptography or the safety of any of this.
Yeah,
but
exactly. The JavaScript storage that you have in the browser, it doesn't work, I think, if you use it in a private window. Diego was also playing around a little bit with that, but in general, you're right. That would be a better user experience, right? Because you just open it and then you're back in your stuff. In terms of security, I know that in a private window, at least, other JavaScripts have certainly not a chance to somehow, sniff some data from this one process. But I'm also not an expert on web developing, so but we can look into that. For now, I would just say let's keep it simple and maybe just have a JSON file.
Yeah, getting ahead of ourselves a bit. I think I'm following the sort of flow, what I need to build for initiating the wallet, creating the wallets and all that. I think I can maybe, I'll probably get that done this week, and then I can start plugging the rest of the functions or methods into the actual UI.
Cool, yeah. What you put together looks really, really cool already. Like just visually, so much better than everything we had before. That's already great. And I would also say continue as you have time to work on this. And if you run into anything, I would probably. The thing is, my head is still super occupied with this other stuff. I hope to be able to finish this today or tomorrow. Made great progress the last days. So I couldn't really look into the library functions yet, but the most basic stuff is there for now. And then once we have the UI set up, we can work closely together there. I just add everything that's missing. It's not a big deal at this point. I would say like 80 to 90% of the functions should be there to, do what's required, like the sync stuff, the create transaction stuff and also fetching token balances and this kind of stuff. Yeah, there was the thing with the NFT stuff. So for now, I mean, we can already include all that. When it comes to functionality, the NFT stuff, we might not be able to do this for now because the atomic assets contract on Kylan didn't really work. So the Pomelo funds will be claimable today. I will, the next days, I will get some more VPSs set up to set up a DSP node on the mainnet. I thought about it and I agree, Vlad. For sake of simplicity, I just say let's move to the mainnet now, and because we have DSPs there. The thing is, what I couldn't test yet at all over the last 1.5 years or so that I work on this kind of stuff, and also with the dApp network, I haven't been able to test anything that I built on multiple DSPs. So far, everything works perfectly fine with just one DSP, and if liquid depth and everything is cool, then it shouldn't be a problem to add multiple nodes. But this is the one of the major critical points that I haven't been able to really test yet. And on Kylan, there was always just this one DSP. So on the mainnet, we have at least the advantage of having already more than one node, especially if I set one up. And let's say, for instance, Michael from EOS USA, I know has one running for sure and is also very supportive. Then we can at least test that properly. But I have to have my own node also to be able to provide better support to other node operators. But the problem is also that this is also, relatively new to me. I mean, it's not a big deal, but, like setting up a DSP requires setting up a history solution. You need to run something like Diffuse or Hyperion. And that is, those things are monsters, and so I hope I will find time the next days to set that up, because it's also important to have that up and running to be able to test everything around the wallet. So we're at the stage already now, because everything that I built on the backend is more or less done. But now we are in the stage of putting everything together, and since we have this liquid dApps dependency, that adds just a little bit more complexity to the whole setup, and getting all these vCPU modules to run properly on every single node has to have all the correct modules and the correct services set up. So yeah, there's a lot to that as well. But with the single threaded library, you can at least also not. Yeah, you see, that's the problem. Because we have to have liquid storage, we need that for the proof upload and for the vCPU. If it wasn't for that, you could at least test create transaction stuff, not executing it, but at least creating it. But even that wouldn't work for now because of the upload. Yeah, I have to think about that sometime the next days a little bit, how we proceed there. But yeah, for now, it's not so important for you yet. You're not at that point. So yeah. Right. Yeah, I think from what I read in the chat and what you posted, that all looks good so far. You got the library working. That's great. When it comes to connecting later, right? Maybe you took a look at already, like what I said already last time. I guess that's the only kind of difficult part, is really just creating these array of EOS.io action structs that will go into the transaction builder. That those need to be filled with the data. Yeah, maybe you looked at it. It's actually not difficult, but you just need to once understand my concept that I had in mind with the transaction builder. But it's fairly simple. It really abstracts away all of the UTXO logic, yeah, so that you can really just work with accounts and balances, or respectively, wallet addresses and balances, but you don't have to deal with UTXOs at all. So yeah, that should be fairly easy to connect later. We can also do that together, then that shouldn't be a big deal. Right, on the only thing is that I haven't, oh wait, this is also in the library already. The settings page, this token mapping, this is the only thing that we need for the transaction builder, I think already, or to feed, to create these list of structs that we then throw into the transaction builder. We need to get the token contract code and all that, and the token symbol codes, and this will be, those can be fetched from the settings, object or table, whatever. This is all part of the wallet object that I told you, and this will also all be exported. I will, when you look into the Rust code, into the wallet file, wallet.rs, this is basically the object that the JavaScript code needs to deal with, and yeah, it's super straightforward. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I can just give you guys some quick updates. So, regarding the stuff that I'm doing now for the UX guys, or actually for the Antelope code base, had lots of progress there. As I said, I'm hope to be able to finish this today or tomorrow or so, and then come back to Zeos. There was something that I wanted to. What was it? Right. But I wanted to say something. I lost it. But anyway, yeah, I was. Yeah, go ahead. My health is much better. Yeah, last week that was that was really suffering. At least 2 or 3 days was really bad, but that's all good again. So yeah, thanks for that. And how is it going on your end, Vlad?
Now I got sick, but it's not bad. Yeah. Well, have been, 3 things that I've done, so to say. One, I tried going a bit deeper under the hood, so I was reading your documentation, the one that you created for the ENF. And if at some point we could maybe next week have a call when we could walk through exactly how the whole thing works, because for me it's still like unclear. I understand like on a high level, but I don't understand, for example, what is saved in liquid storage, what is saved on chain. How is the proof exactly verified? And I tried chatting with ChatGPT, asking different questions about like Zcash, about zk snarks, but okay, it gave some clarity. But I think you're much smarter than ChatGPT.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That would probably help a lot. I can just go over the concept and show some parts of the code. You can definitely do that. That would be great. Also having someone, in addition to me, who is a little bit familiar with that and understands a little bit what's going on under the hood. Have you? Go ahead. Have you looked into zero knowledge proofs a little bit, or do you have a general understanding of how zero knowledge proofs work at all? Or okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's basically this is it's super complex under the hood, but working with it is actually fairly simple. The most difficult thing is always putting the circuit together, and this looks different for every single proving system that's out there. But this is something that you don't necessarily have to deal with, or just constructing the thing, but just having an understanding of how it works. And the circuit basically defines how proofs are generated and verified, and they basically, the circuit is nothing but a big constraint system that lays out or defines what is a valid input, or what are valid inputs to the proving system, and what is invalid, right? So yeah, we can go over that maybe next week. The thing is with the Halo 2 stuff, the overall protocol became more complex on the back end because of this proof bundling. So that there's the way the concept that I have is already kind of tailored for EOS.io, basically for transactions. So the demo application is much easier to understand. We can maybe even start with that one, because then once you got that, it's super easy to make the step to the Halo 2 thing, I guess. But yeah, let's just talk about that when we have this extra call and it's easier. Then we can just go share the screen or something, and then we can go over the code, and that would make it much easier.
I think many from the community would also appreciate, like, if there's a simple step-by-step what exactly is happening. Yeah. Then besides that, I'm trying to, like, we had a call with Leonard. I'm trying to keep up and understand what is he doing, just to again have general understanding, and maybe at one point then I can also jump in and help if help is needed.
That's cool.
And then the contracts, the shuffle function that you shared, unfortunately it didn't work, because like the third parameter, that the seed that it requires, it takes it only from the random library, and how the random library, it doesn't work. So I still went with my second method, and now I'm having just a last problem. I don't understand why, when I'm trying to I'm trying to combine the block number with the user's account name, and when I'm trying to, I need to get unsigned integer 32 from the account value, which is unsigned 64, and when I'm trying to convert it, it gives me always 0. So that's where I'm at.
How do you cast it? Static cast should work when you use C++ static cast. You mean from uint 64 to uint 32? Yeah, that should be no problem, actually.
And just static cast gives me 0.
If you want, you can just share the code with me or something, then I can take a look at it. Shouldn't be a big deal. Just one quick idea regarding the shuffle code. What you could also do is you could just copy paste, right, the shuffle code, and then remove this dependency, right, and then just take the seed that you already have. It probably doesn't have much dependencies within the code itself, right? It's all based on standard library anyway. That just as a quick idea, but
But pretty much I wrote my own alternative to shuffle.
So we can use that. I mean, it doesn't really matter for now. It's really just having some randomization working for now. That would be fine. Right. Okay. Anything else anyone would like to add or talk about? I agree that having some general or more general information about the protocol, the UX guys, as I said, they're also super interested in that. If we wouldn't build that, then probably they would do it at some point, because they do all this crypto stuff. Very, very exciting stuff that they are working on, and that is coming to EOS.io or Antelope, whatever, in the future. And yeah,
the listed token.
yeah, I still haven't. I'm really not super familiar with the token or anything that they do, other than what they contribute to the Antelope code base. But apparently, someone created a liquidity pool on DeFi Box a few days ago with the IBC token, right, or the REP token that's already kind of swappable from their chain to, for instance, EOS. So that looks cool. But yeah, again, I haven't really had the time to get familiar with any of that yet. I know that they also have a slightly different approach to the resource model, so they changed that a little bit. And yeah, from what I know, like they pretty much, from what I heard so far, it sounds like almost that the current state of UX is quite different from EOS.io. It seems like almost everything is being changed under the hood. Not only like they changed the consensus, the resource model, all these kind of things. And yeah, I will probably participate on a lot more calls in the future and get more insights into everything. What I can tell already, I guess, or I don't even know, but I'm just gonna do it. So there are certain things that ENF engineers are working on to get a similar solution to vCPU or VRAM, what we currently depend on to get this protocol to work. So it's very likely that at some point in the future we might be able to remove the dependency, at least for the Zeos protocol, that we can really have everything natively on chain. That would be really cool. Something like liquid storage would still be required, in my opinion, just for front end and all that. But at least at the current stage, the protocol also depends on the liquid storage solution on the back end side, right? So as I said, for the proof verification and this kind of stuff. So being able to get rid of that would be really, really cool. That would also make everything much more beautiful. Having the second layer, for proof verification, all that, it makes the protocol a little bit ugly. But, it's the only way that we can proceed right now. But they are, I don't know if Zeos was the deciding factor or why they start working on that. I guess, in general, it would be great to have something like a vCPU solution, where you can just execute something context-free in parallel to the normal transaction. I think that is in general a thing that is desirable, but so far I know that Zeos is certainly one application that would benefit from that, and yeah, they are quite interested in getting also developer feedback, and that will also influence the what they are working on and how they build it. So that's pretty cool that I have a more direct line to them, so to speak, to be able to talk about these things and influence the development on the back end. So that's pretty cool. So it's pretty funny what I add right now to the code base is basically exactly the elliptic curve intrinsics that I would have needed a little over a year ago to get the Growth 16 verifier to work. So maybe in a few months from now they are excited about Halo 2 as I am, and then might add support for that as well. That would be really, really cool. But yeah, no one is really familiar with that. I also don't think that in general in the crypto space, anyone other than me is currently building something like Zeos based on Halo 2. As I said on earlier calls, I'm following the Discord channels of Zcash. They are promoting this really heavily, because they know how awesome it is and they know that this is the future. And but yeah, the entire space hasn't really caught on to that yet. But yeah, that would be something, in my opinion, that would be very interesting to have native support for in the Antelope code base as well. So yeah, I let's see if we can get them to add support for that. Yeah, other than that, I mean, super exciting. I have so much workload. It's all super cool stuff. But Zeos will be the priority again very soon, and then super excited about the progress that you also made, Lena, and and that we can finally. I really want to show the protocol, but yeah, without the proper UI and having this all now put together, there's not much I can show. And also, as I said, testing is super annoying that way. Having a UI, where not just the transaction creation, but also the whole scanning of the chain state, and then fetching of UTXO data and all this stuff. If you do that manually, you go crazy. So the UI will help a lot. And yeah, as I said, I decided to continue with everything on the mainnet as soon as we reach that point. Just roll it out there. As you said, Vlad, we can just lock access to the contract. That it only works with certain accounts or whatever, and so that people don't mess or interfere with what we're doing there. And yeah, I think as soon as the wallet or as the UI is on a first version, where it supports the basic functionality, we're probably gonna, it's not gonna take a long time, I think, to have this first iteration, as I'm planning to specify it in the grant application as well. And yeah, from that on, I guess that you guys also will be much more familiar with everything. I mean, you, Leonard, for sure, if you start to connect the wallet, you will already have a very basic understanding of it. And yeah, as I said, it's also really not that complicated. So if you understand what a UTXO is, or I mean, to all of you guys, if you understand what the difference is between account balance on EOS and UTXO, which is more of a, like the traditional classic transaction model that cryptocurrencies use. And that's the thing, on when we build privacy protocols, we have to deal with UTXOs. The only way to get it work with account balance is actually it works with homomorphic encryption, but there are too many limitations when it comes to smart contracts. And I think the approach that we're following is actually pretty good. So yeah, super excited to finally get this to work. But yeah, for now, I'm still still occupied with all this other stuff. But it's some very interesting relationships that I'm building right now. And yeah, I hope that this team here will also be able to collaborate more with them, because they are really the guys that work on the cool stuff in crypto. Yeah, so as far as I know, at least in the Antelope ecosystem, in the like broader Antelope ecosystem, that they are really working on all these cutting edge cryptography stuff. That we are basically also working on here. Okay, yeah, I'm a little unprepared today, but if you guys don't have anything else, then I would say we can also wrap it up already. Anyone wants to add something, or any more questions or whatever?
I got one random comment is that just in case I did push like the design and then start building it. We're not stuck on the design. I just wanted the layout. If the thing is too purple, we're gonna swap. Like let's do all those discussions in the end.
I agree.
Right. That's sort of my plan to get the functionality working with a layout that is more or less in place.
Yeah.
But like, we'll work on the design in the end.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, for me, everything looks pretty awesome already, but I totally agree. I mean, those are things that we can always adjust. For now, I also think that having all the UI elements there that we can make it functional, and that should be our priority for now.
Yeah, I think too purple was my comment.
Is it even purple? I was a little purplish, but yeah, looks great already. Yeah, I'm always amazed. This is a skill that I'm totally lacking. Putting something together real quick. Like UI stuff. It takes me forever, and also, it's just not really my passion, but it's so much needed. And yeah, I was already impressed by what you put together in that short period of time. Also feel free if you think, I mean, you're probably too perfectionist for about this because you think already too far ahead. But if you have something, that I don't know, that you think would be cool to share with the Zeos community or something in the chat, feel free to do that. That shows to them that something is happening, and gets them excited as well. But yeah, you don't have to.
Let's see where I'm at the end of the week. So I'm gonna start building the views out, and like I'm probably gonna focus on actually connecting stuff. But I'm gonna let's see where I get. Either this week or next week I might have something that where the layout is built out for most things and something already works a bit. So
Great.
Once we're there, maybe.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
Lennart, would you need my help right now? Would I be useful, or it's better for you?
I think I'm fine for now.
Okay. Yeah, when it comes to the fractal stuff, Vlad, this is a little bit lower on my priority list right now, as you probably understand. But nevertheless, it would be great to keep going on that front as well. It's a little bit up to you, yeah. How you want to allocate your time and your resources. Like looking into the protocol stuff, that's great. Again, as I told you, it would be great to have some more support on that end as well. Not that there's so much at the moment to be built, but just also for the future, because this is just the beginning, right? There's so much more that will come after that, especially when we want to build on top of this protocol, like integrating private deposits and withdrawals into other contracts. And also, if hopefully at some point, right, other developers also want to build on that, it would be good to have not just me, but at least maybe us three or so being a little bit familiar with stuff works. Also on the UI side, I mean, this whole transaction builder, this will be one big project, and I will also put that into the grant application somehow. I mean, it will be part of one of the milestones. But yeah, I will be probably not, how to say that, like I will keep it as simple as possible so that we are able to reach these milestones without problems. If we do more than that, then that's great. We can then just over deliver, right? But I don't want to, specify too much that I haven't really wasn't able to test yet. It's difficult to explain. I would like to keep the specification in the application as simple as possible so that we will have no problems in reaching the milestones, the way I have it now and the way I have it in mind. I know that it's going to be possible like that, that we don't run into too many issues. But there are certain parts that are still so early in the development that I'm not able to fully specify it, I can specify the first iteration for the first milestone, but then when we, have following milestones, specifying the additional features or whatever, I'm a little bit hesitant at this point because I don't want to run into the issue that we file this application now and it gets approved, and then we move forward working on that, and then in a few months, like our overall design has changed so much that we would have to, kind of reiterate with them or something. That's
Yeah. What would be better is just less milestones per application.
my point.
So let's say only even one milestone, 2 milestones in the
And then have
beginning.
another application.
Boom, you are sure that it's
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, this is also a front, where you are happy, where I'm happy to have some support. But again, it requires already at least some basic understanding of things, right? To be able to specify this. This is my biggest issue right now, and it's so time consuming, and has nothing to do with the actual development. Yeah, it's just, I find myself, when you work on such a complex stuff and you're still innovating with concepts, right? For instance, Halo 2 on EOS, what is the best concept to apply Halo 2 for EOS IO transactions and all that? I find myself like every few months, like every, let's say 2 months or so, I look back where I was 2 months earlier, and like there are so many things that changed, right? And that's exactly the issue. And maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe maybe just think about it now because of what you said. Maybe we really keep the application much shorter. That would also save me a lot of time for now. And then we just include maybe 2 milestones where I already know that we can, where I already know exactly how we're going to build it. And then we just do another application. Yeah, why not? You're absolutely right. Yeah, thanks for that. I didn't even think about that. I have a list with like 6 or 7 milestones, and the first 2 or 3 are okay, but the last 3, I don't even know. I cannot even think so much ahead. But you're absolutely right. We shouldn't do that now. That's just a total waste of time. For the exact same reason that I didn't do the grant application like 6 months ago, because I didn't even know if any of that would be possible, right? The way I imagine it. Now I got to that point, and now I think is also the right time to file that. So yeah, you're right. I agree.
Yeah. In regards to the fractal, well, I'm gonna finish all the contracts. I'm gonna test them properly, and again, I'm gonna prepare them just that front end is needed. And that's what I will focus on right now.
Yeah, that's great. Right, there's the front end, and when it comes to the fractal, we also need to have the zeos validator API already, right? Because of all the WebRTC stuff. It's like with the liquid storage thing. This is like this. We need this extra nodes anyway, but it requires some work on that front as well. So we don't only have like smart contract and UI, what you usually have with these dApps these days. In our case, we always have this third component because for whatever infrastructure we require. Yeah. Also for the UI, I mean, and I think that's also okay because or maybe we could even keep it that simple for now and have it just hosted on a web server, maybe even for the first version. I mean, I didn't even include any of the Web3 stuff into the grant application, and I won't, because that would just open another huge box, of stuff, and that is actually a project on its own. But I got the liquid storage already so far that we can fetch the stuff directly into the browser and all that. So I was thinking And we have this bundler tool already, so where we can at least, have our React UI being bundled into one static website that we can then already put into liquid storage and all that, which is cool. But then again, I don't know. Yeah, okay. I mean, when we move to the mainnet, then it shouldn't be a problem, I guess, because when we have DSPs there, then we can at least use liquid storage, because liquid storage, the way I have it now, is already okay for us, right? At this point, I mean, we don't have to create an additional API or something. Right, only to upload into liquid storage, right? That was also a little bit stupid, actually. Yeah, the way that liquid storage works, it's very centralized when it comes to upload files into liquid storage. I understand why it's required, or I don't understand fully why they built it this way. I would have thought that this would also be possible already, just using, based on normal EOS.io contracts. But the way it works right now is that you can only upload stuff into liquid storage if you have a smart contract deployed to that EOS account that has, dApp token staked and all that. That's the current issue with liquid storage. But, we can work around that, or I already did work around that by having just a web service on a VPS that people can use, with the captcha and all that. But it's like kind of centralized. It's not really decentralized, but that's something for the future. But again, we shouldn't get stuck on that now, because the focus should be really the privacy protocol and all that, not so much the how we host the UI. So what you did, Lena, having this on this, I don't know what this is, like app.dev or so. It seems to be a service where you can just easily deploy some React apps or something like that.
I'm using Firebase for most of the stuff. I
don't know about that, but that sounds like a really good
Yeah.
solution for now. Just to get started, right, and to have it somewhere, right. And I would also recommend. I mean, I don't know how exactly that works, but I assume that you can just, that's just a web space or something, right, where you can just upload anything. So also all the WebAssembly stuff and all that kind of stuff shouldn't be a problem, I guess, to host it there.
Yeah. I'm basically just hosting my build folder, and I can.
Right, but on the back end, can you configure something? Like, can you configure the web server a little bit?
I'm not sure. I haven't done much there.
Because
it's Google Cloud, basically.
Okay.
We'll see.
That's also important for now.
Swap it out. Set up.
Right. So what I told you last time, that we are able to execute the front end in cross-origin isolation, is required to get the multi-core support to work. But that comes with a lot of issues, because then we have like these cross-origin resource policies, and we cannot upload to any other host, from my understanding. So if we keep going there, we can only work with the single-threaded library, which is fine for now. It just takes forever. Some things, I mean, like proof generation takes about a minute or something, or like 40 seconds on my machine, which is already faster, by the way, than the Grow 16 stuff in the demo app. That took sometimes like up to, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes or so. So that is already much better with the Halo stuff. But it's still about 40 seconds. And also what you said, wallet creation, all that. It just takes a while, but at least we can start to test. And I guess if that is at a point where we have everything working with the single-threaded library, we could then just also do the switch to liquid storage at that point, that we can just say, okay, now we have like the basic functionality working with the single-threaded lib. And then it's basically the bundling tool that we have. You can then just take exactly the React application that you now deploy there, and can make it I call it like a Zeos Web 3 app out of it. We can upload it into liquid storage and then use the cross-origin isolation there. And then, when we can also, do the upload into liquid storage on that same node. I think that's a good strategy. Yeah, I think about this right now, but yeah, let's go with the single-threaded lib, because that this is also what you got to work already, you know, and then I don't have to think about all this other stuff for now. And then once we got that working with the basic functionality, we make the move into liquid storage maybe. Then we have multi-core support, and yeah, the proof upload should also work already when you have it now hosted, right? I mean, if you have it hosted on that server now, it shouldn't be a problem, right, to upload to another host from the browser client? No, right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's all, you know, I'm always a little bit confused about these CORS policies because I had, what confuses me is that sometimes when I use a bundler to build an application, then I don't run into issues. But when I don't use the bundler, then, and I'm not talking about our bundler, I'm talking about the, you know, the polyfill bundlers that exist. But I'm also not too familiar with that. I know what they do, right? They put everything into one file. But for some reason, when I built the demo application, I always had trouble uploading. What was it even that I did there? Yeah, syncing the wallet state. You know, I fetched from a blockchain node, and I think I tried to fetch from multiple nodes or something. Something didn't really work. But when I put everything into a React app and bundled it, then I didn't run into these CORS issues or whatever. Anyway, I'm happy that that you are here as well to deal with all that. And yeah, I think the setup that we have now, you know, with your web server there, that's a good way to go for now.
For now, that's just the way to share whatever I built. Doesn't, like, as I said, the setup took 10 seconds, so we can do whatever if we run.
Yeah, if we run into issues, we can also move to one of my VPSs or so. It's not a big deal. I can give you access there. And yeah, you can also host there. Okay. Yeah, I cannot really focus, to be honest. My head is full with this other thing. I'm in the middle of something. So if it's okay with you guys, if you don't have anything else, then we can wrap it up. And yeah, I hope that then up, you know, to next week, I will also be fully into Zeus again. And yeah, good idea, Vlad. I think I will just you know, throw out 4 milestones or so and keep it much shorter, and then we just apply again, right? Why not? Of course, makes perfect sense. It's also easier for them, probably, you know, I mean, for the committee or whoever is, you know, going through all this. If it's not too complex for now, right? I was also thinking about asking Guillaume from the UX team to maybe, you know, maybe look a little bit into that. I don't know if that's too much to ask, but I know that he's also super interested in this, and he also has some really cool ideas, and he has a lot of background information, you know, because he's talking with Eric all the time. And by the way, I also have a call with them in 2 hours, I guess. It's also on a weekly basis, so that's pretty cool. So I will probably get way more insights from them, which is like, you know, that might influence a lot, like, you know, kind of the future milestones of our application. Because if we know already that certain features are to expect or are to be expected in Antelope, that we can then utilize to get rid of some of the dependencies that are causing a headache right now, then, you know, there would just be another argument for not keeping the current application too complex, but rather keep it simple, focus on the MVP, so to speak, right? What we are kind of trying to build here. And then we can go from there, because like everything is just changing so fast, not just with Zeos, like with what we're doing, while moving forward and come up with new ideas. The same is happening to the Antelope code base. I really wasn't aware of all the stuff that are going on, that people are working on in the back end, because they don't talk about it publicly yet, for obvious reasons. But, if you are developing something and something of the scale like this application here, then it's really good to know what is on the horizon and what is to be expected, because instead of specifying everything already, like for the final application, and then at the end EOS.io will just look completely different in 6 months, has a lot of new cool features that we could then use, and that would basically invalidate all the future milestones that I'm spending so much time on. So yeah, that's, I think, the most valuable input for now for me, to really just keep it short, and not causing too much headache. And as you said, and then we can also, we should probably in general, just keep the applications short and sexy for exactly that reason, right? Because things are just evolving too fast. You cannot plan too far ahead. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's great. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's something that I experience right now with our own application. Like, if I could change right now, the third milestone would be different. So I would focus right now on different stuff.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, I'll probably then just really keep it just the first 2 milestones that we are basically almost have already. Why not, right? Why not? Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. Then I would say keep going. I will also keep going, and then let's have another call. Maybe even this week. So I'm really full-time on this. I work 7 days a week currently. The only off time that I have is sometime during the day, but I'm available all the time. So if there are questions, if there are problems or whatever, or also you've led, if you want to sit down and go a little bit over the protocol or something, we can also record that. It would maybe be cool to have screen share functionality. Do you have a Zoom premium account? No, right? You don't have, right? I will maybe ask someone. I don't know. Has any one of you heard anything about Dan Singjoy? Is he still doing the Eden Fractal sessions, right?
Sure.
Great. Maybe he would be willing to host such a session in Zoom, because then that will make it easier, right? Because then we can also screen share and all that when we go over the code. That would help, because we don't have the functionality here yet. It's all possible. I looked it up already, but again, I cannot cut myself into pieces. So first things first, and so Zoom would probably be better for such a call. Maybe we can get him to host it, or someone else with a premium account. And then also we could record it and also upload it. And because, as you said, there might be a lot more people interested in that as well. Okay, cool. Then, thank you guys. Igna, I will just send you the stuff again, if that's okay. Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow or so. Because I always have to convert these raw video streams into like these H.264 compressed video streams. I will then just upload again somewhere or whatever. That was okay last time, right? Using this transfer stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, and I keep you guys posted. And hit me up anytime when you guys have anything. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I see you.